Am I allowed to say my sex life has gotten a hell of a lot better? It really has. So my girlfriend definitely has seen a lot in me as far as energy and stuff, but we've gotten a lot closer and a lot more connected. And to be honest with you, my sex life has been fantastic. And a lot of that is the program.
Okay, guys, it's Dr. Ryan, and today we're going to talk with one of my patients, Steve. Steve has been a patient with the clinic for about 6 months, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his experience being a patient of SummaUp. So, Steve, why don't you start with telling us a little bit about yourself, where you live, what you do, some of your hobbies, maybe your family.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Dr. Ryan. I am a very busy executive. I head up a number of teams globally, so I'm quite busy. That's my day job. And then for extra kicks, I've got 3 operating yoga studios that I own as well. That keeps me very busy on an ongoing basis. I'm out in Florida, but head office is out in Irvine, California. So I kind of go back and forth quite a bit between West Coast to East Coast. I've got 2 older kids that live in Florida. And then I've got a younger family here in California with my girlfriend. She's got 2 kids. So very busy lifestyle, lots on the go all the time. It's been quite a busy year, that's for sure.
So given that you have so many things that are competing for your attention, so many priorities that are important in your life, what was it like before you started with the clinic? And what were some of the goals that you were trying to accomplish?
When you get pulled in so many different directions, it's having the energy and having your body that can get through the day, knowing that you've got a lot of commitments that you need to make. The biggest challenge for me was I had tried so many different things and, read up a lot. I, read a lot on biohacking and trying to figure out how to fight aging. And, it's this whole longevity play that I've been super interested in for years. But I really hadn't found the formula. And there was a lot of knowledge, just not formula and nothing specific for me. And so that's where I struggled a lot. So I yo-yoed a lot. I mean, weight was up and down. I was somewhere around 180, but I ballooned up to 193 before, and then I came back down to 180. And I knew that that's not my comfortable zone at all. I can be a lot trimmer. I was a lot trimmer when I was younger. And I was just really trying to figure out how can I get back to feeling comfortable in my skin and having that balance of energy to get through the day and also enjoy my life. And that's really what was happening prior to me finding you guys.
Like, you had opportunities, you had access to a lot of things, but what were the blocks that made you say, this is just not working for me?
So in one case, it was a very restrictive diet. It wasn't sustainable. I couldn't travel and be able to stay on the program that I had invested in. In another case, I didn't have an accountability coach. I didn't have Stefan checking in with me every day and going, hey man, how you doing? And which has been awesome. And the roadblocks were, it just wasn't sustainable. And it wasn't like I was enjoying doing it. That's the tricky part. It's like anything. If you want to get into a routine, you want to work out, you want to enjoy it. It wasn't something that was specific for me. And that's what I was challenged with. I was like, hey, look, I can take the testosterone and I can take supplements because I've been looking at all of that, but it wasn't working. And I needed to find out what was the right formula of all of it together that was right for my body and my needs. And that's where I came to you guys.
Was there like an inciting event that kind of made you say, okay, enough is enough? Because, it took you a process of trial and error to come to that conclusion. Was there a specific inciting event that made you say, okay, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. That's it?
I wasn't balancing things very well with work and personal side of it, but it was just causing way too much stress. My blood pressure was up. Just in 2023, the first 6 months, I gained weight. I was up 10 pounds. It was frustrating because I thought I was doing the right things. I thought I was, keeping my diet in check and working out. And it hit a point where I'm like, I have to find something that appeals to executives, appeals to people that really are focused on sort of the high performers out there, and knowing that if I can find the program that I'll be able to make changes, but also get that sustainability and get the balance back. And so I hit a point where it was like 179 pounds and I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. Whatever I'm doing isn't working, and I've been at it for years. And so I need to figure out something that is actually going to work for me. And it's so funny, I stumbled upon you guys, and you click on so many things and you're like, okay, I don't know if I want to try that. But as soon as I clicked on and went through and started investigating your program, it resonated with me on every level, because anybody that's an executive knows that they have to be a performer. They have to be able to have that level of performance. And once you read through it and you go, yeah, that's where I need to go. And so it was that point where too much stress, gained too much weight, thought I was doing all the right things and still wasn't working. And I was just like, I got to find something.
So what finally made you say yes? What finally, in your words, that really resonated with you and made you say, this is the right choice? I'm going to go ahead with this.
Yeah, it's a good question to ask, because you see a lot of ads, take these pills, right? Take this supplement and you'll be thin. And there's like a ton of those. Or just do this workout routine, or, eat this diet program, you'll be thin. And it's not about just being thin. It's about being healthy and being strong. And when I was going through, whenever I would look at a program, I'm like, okay, so this is one piece of the formula. Hormone optimization is one piece of the formula. A meal program, let's not even talk about a diet, just a meal program is one part of the program. Getting physical exercise in the right way is another part of the program. I hadn't found anything that was meaningful that put it all together. And that's what I was desperate for when I was looking. And what really rang true for me when I read all of it was the idea of longevity with hormone optimization. That's what truly resonated with me, because I've been looking at that for years and looking for things around hormone optimization, about longevity. And your program, which had all three components to it, is what really attracted me. Now, again, like anything, you go in with sort of some skepticism, and is this really going to work? And as soon as I found out, I look at blood work. I'm like, oh, brilliant. Finally, somebody that looks at that blood work to determine where you need to get to. And that was sort of the thing that really tipped me was that you incorporate blood work in with all of the other pieces in order to really judge, am I going the right way? To be honest with you, I've been begging my primary care doctor to do this kind of stuff. And he's like, well, they only treat like the immediate if there's anything wrong. I'm not looking for anything wrong. I'm looking for proactive health. And that's where I really stumbled upon it and really, this is proactive health. And that's what I need. I didn't need reactive. I wanted proactive health.
I really appreciate the fact that you were looking for a holistic approach, something where all of those things are tied in. So I do kind of want to brag on you a little bit. You did mention you saw some improvement in your biomarkers, right? And when you came to me, one of the things that you were a little concerned about was your lipid panel, your total cholesterol, your triglycerides, and your LDL.
Yeah.
Were quite high.
They've been high for a while too. And I'd had them monitored sort of year over year, and they really weren't going down. And I'm like, man, am I working my way towards a heart attack here if I can't get my cholesterol down, right?
These labs certainly indicated that you need to turn things around. But what's remarkable to me is without the use of conventional medications, without a statin, you're able to dramatically change these values. Your apolipoprotein B was 125, very unhealthy. It's at 94, which is much better. We still have a little bit of work to go, but you're in a much better stead. We're almost at the 90 level, which I like to be below.
Yes.
Your homocysteine levels dropped as well, another marker of methylation, which is very good. Your CRP levels became normal. And in terms of your lipid panel specifically, your total cholesterol dropped almost about 60 points. Now, this is a huge change right here. It dropped more than 100 points, which is really, really remarkable. Other things that I thought were really cool was you had mentioned that you'd always had the roughest time trying to get your IGF-1 levels in terms of improving your growth hormone. We were able to almost double that within the span of just a few months, as well as drop your fasting insulin, which is a marker, a precursor for diabetes. And stop it. And then a lot of people look at triglycerides, and that's important. But another marker that's very important is your VLDL, your very low density lipoprotein. It was a very unhealthy level at 42, and now it's a very, very healthy level at 16. The other thing, of course, is there's an aesthetic component. You had mentioned that you had worked around a little bit in terms of bouncing up and down in terms of your body weight. We were reliably able to get you down 15 pounds. But more importantly, while we were able to lose the weight, we were able to do it in a sustainable fashion and improve your body composition. When you started, you were a bit bloated. We needed to go ahead and reduce a fair amount of body fat in your upper body, and we did. We got you in a much leaner state. You lost your adipose tissue around your abdomen. You got much, much leaner, and I'm very, very pleased. Now, again, the work's not done. We're going to keep pushing forward and get those abs nice and popping out, but we've made some significant progress.
And I think the important part to all that too, Dr. Ryan, is I continued to travel for work. Anybody that is an executive that travels knows it's really difficult to try to maintain a program and travel. You just can't, it's just super hard. And the way that it was structured and working with Stefan just made it a lot easier for me to be able to stick to it. It wasn't perfect. It's not perfect, but it's a journey that I'm on that I understand now more around how I can travel for work and still be able to keep a healthy body, healthy lifestyle.
Okay, wonderful. So we kind of touched upon some of the changes visually in your physique and from a biometric standpoint, some of the changes. But what were some of the changes that you noticed in your physique and your overall health?
So I noticed that, obviously thinner, feeling stronger. I finally lost the love handles that I'd had forever. So it's funny, it's making it difficult to do the subcutaneous stuff that I have to do. I'm like, I can't find any fat anymore. And there's still more to go, but I feel my body, and it's actually becoming more of a fine-tuned machine from the eating aspect. Like following the meal program, it allows me to stay focused and I can feel it. And then I know when I have my meal, I'm full. I can feel that, right? I know when I've had my calories for the day, I can feel it. And so just being more in tune with what's going on, I have made significant improvements on my strength. So being able to push more, pull more at the gym. And I'm not there very long. I'm only there for 45 minutes at a time, but I can tell like I'm incrementally getting better. The other thing that was really wild for me is I was focused heavy on cardio for so long. We reduced the time, like only 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes at the certain heart rate. And I was still dropping pounds, still getting my cardio in, and I'm not feeling tired after doing it. The way the program is designed now is I don't feel burnt out after working out. I don't feel like I can't go do something. And that's great. And we set goals at the beginning, right? And we will accomplish that likely in January. The program has helped me to stay focused on what I want to see the outcomes are so that I can get more balance in my life. And that's where I've had the energy to be able to go do that.
What are some of the changes that you noticed in terms of your business and career, the individuals you interact in that aspect of your life?
I'm in a senior leadership role, and my team has seen better focus. They've also seen fun energy. I'm not exhausted, not dead to the world and just coming in and trying to figure out how to keep things rolling. I notice how they're reacting to me having more positive energy, which has been working out great. And in fact, we've actually built a better culture in the organization as a whole because of some of the ideas that came to me as I was learning about my body, learning about the balance, and the energy levels and how it was affecting me mentally. I've transferred some of that into the organization, and we've built a better culture because of it. So I think there's a lot more to come next year, not only for me, but for the organization. And this has really actually helped me in my leadership role. So I think it's been a big benefit there.
So that's more on a public side, but on a personal side, you did mention your girlfriend seeing some changes. What are some changes that your family and friends have seen after joining the clinic?
I talk to my parents every week over Zoom, just like the way that we're talking here. And they're like, "Oh, you look good. You're looking really good." And I'm like, "Yeah, I feel good." So, they can't really see that I've lost weight unless I lift up my shirt and show them. But the reality is they can see that I'm looking better, right? I look good. And my mom's even said, "You don't look as stressed as you used to." I'm like, "No, I'm not actually." So it's been very good. And by the way, the one thing that I've been monitoring on the side is my blood pressure. My blood pressure's come right down, which is great. That was a concern for me. Look at the cholesterol and high blood pressure. I mean, man, I think I was on a one-way track. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to go anywhere close to danger, and we've been able to reduce both. So,
were there any other benefits that you noticed from working with SummaUp and the team?
Am I allowed to say my sex life has gotten a hell of a lot better? It really has. And so my girlfriend definitely has seen a lot in me as far as energy and stuff, but we've gotten a lot closer and a lot more connected. And to be honest with you, my sex life has been fantastic. And a lot of that is the program.
I'm glad that aspect improved too. Okay. Yeah. So what would you tell someone who's watching this interview and is uncertain about joining the clinic?
The key that I would say is find a program that incorporates all of the things together. Your blood work with your eating program, with your physical program, with the hormone optimization, the supplements, everything that you need to feel like you can live an energetic life and latch onto that and make the commitment. Just make the commitment. It might not be perfect, but if you follow the program, you will see the results. And I don't say that very lightly because I've tried so many different things, but this one really worked for me.
Well, Steve, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your extremely busy schedule to talk a little bit about your experiences as a patient. And I'm very, very thankful to have you as a patient in the clinic.
Thank you, Dr. Ryan. It's been amazing. I'm blessed, I guess, that you and I got connected, so I'm super grateful for that. And I just can't wait to see what's going to happen next.
We'll be there with you side by side every step of the way. So.
All right, awesome. Sounds great. Thanks, Dr. Ryan.